Again, like I said, anytime you think you know something about a car, throw it out the window. Wait till you work on the next one. What's going on, guys? Today we're doing a bit of a repair video. I got my new trailer and I got to noticing that the plug on the inside of my truck had got some damage that the 7-blade or 7-way plug would plug into. So I'm here to fix that today. It shouldn't be that bad of a job. I've already pulled it out and wanted to show you what's going on. That way, in case somebody else has this issue, they'll know what's ahead of them. Anyways, let's take a look. So this is our plug, and when I got it, the center was broken, but the outside wasn't. And one time I was loading up some scrap and I accidentally bumped into it, and as you can see, the plastic had just got brittle, so it broke off. So we're gonna go about installing this connector here. It is from Hopkins. Anyways, it was about $17, I think, at the CarQuest store. I could have got one that was $14 that was this design, but I really didn't think that this design would be in there. So, just my bad on that one. It should separate here, I thought, but I guess it doesn't. So, let's take it apart and get this new one installed. And anytime you're working on a piece of electrical equipment hooked up to your vehicle, you should disconnect the batteries first. Okay, so I've got some cutters here. It's just these plastic retainer, those zip ties is what it is to retain this plug in there. I could go back to the store and get the cheaper plug since I know that it will work, but this is here, and by the time I'd spend the gas to get up there and get back, obviously it'd be more than $3 probably. So really no point in it. This has got a really nice sturdy door on it, dust cover, whatever you want to call it, and it's got a weather stripping on the inside, so I kind of like this, so I think I'm going to keep this. To get this old plug out, you simply shove forward. There's a retainer on the bottom here, I should add. Make sure you take it out because it won't allow your wires to scoot forward. Okay, so I really prefer terminals on the connectors here when I do these. And if it was a customer's vehicle, I would do the connectors, I would solder it and everything else. But since it's mine, and I'm essentially the only one that has to answer for whatever I do, I am going to take the easy out and simply put the wire through. The terminals is just a preference thing. That way that if somebody else has to come back and work behind me, it's easy for them. Again, you know, just simply preference, but it is what it is. Okay, and these plugs are designed differently as well. Brown is your tail markers, which would be right here. And then the next pin on this new plug is left turn, which is green. And on my old one, the black is right next to the tail marker. Black is not used commonly. I think it's supposed to be reverse. No, maybe it's your power, your auxiliary 12 volt. But anyways, it's not used. I saw the black wire down here. I have to take these out, so I'm gonna make a quick mental note of what these do, and then we'll get started. Okay, so my quick mental note was to actually take a video of it, or a picture of it, simply to help me remember. I think I remember what all the colors are. Brown's tail markers. Blue should be for my brake control box. Man, that one is screwed up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that one off. No, I need a flathead. See if the flathead will do it. I could go through and do something a little more tedious and work to get that out, but time saved would be to simply cut it, so that's what I've done. Green should be our left, red should be our right. Again, blue is brake control. White should be our ground. Now that this is all done, we have to pull old one out. Okay, and anytime you're doing one of these 7-way plugs, you have to pay attention to what the manufacturer has done to assemble this. On this one, for example, this piece is going to go over. Let me put this back in. Apparently it's hanging up. This piece is going to go over this. It actually goes inside of it, and then it's going to snap into place. You can see the snaps on both sides. So that is going to be a very tight fit. I've got a gasket back here, and it's also got my set pin, that way that the cable can't be pulled. Really probably not that needed on the vehicle side, but it's definitely needed on your trailer side. I'm going to use a little silicone spray on our gasket here. Make your hands a little messy, but it really does help slide things along. And back here on my cable, I'm just going to give it a light coat too, because of the dust and corrosion and whatnot. It would make it very difficult for that to go in there. White is our ground. We're going to do it first. Always good to put the ground first. Okay. That is in there. Now it's tight. So before I go any further and make it where this is aggravating to access, I'm going to put this yellow, like I said, it's the power reverse. It goes in the center, and it should just slide in there in this screw. Our brown is our tail markers. So I have both plugs on my truck, one on the bumper and one in the bed. What we're going to do right now is take and plug in my trailer and make sure that everything is working before we put it back in and mount it down. So let's take a look and make sure. And the reason I moved you guys was my my little mini tripod there was on, or was tangled up in the wire. So we're plugged in, get the lights on and the flashers. So, whenever in doubt, use a multimeter. Brown is always your tail markers. It's what I was always taught. And I think brown and green are in the wrong places. Let's find out. Makes sense if that's the case, because lights are doing crazy things. That's just weird. Oh, I know how to check. Let me just turn the lights on and I can check and see if that's 12 volts or not. Here's my ground. Bingo. That's crazy. So we're gonna switch these. I believe this is my right. Yeah, I believe this is my right, and this is my tail lights. It's always like if you think you know something, just throw it out the window with the car, because you never know. Every other trailer that I've ever worked on, and if you ever buy like a little trailer kit, it always says brown is your tail lights, you know. And yet here we are. So somebody put this in here and they just wired it up the way that best suited them. I would have never thought that. I mean, really never would have thought that. Again, like I said, anytime you think you know something about a car, throw it out the window. Wait till you work on the next one. Sorry if the wind's bad. I hope it's not. Okay, so now everything, God, I'm so sorry about pointing you guys to the ground. So now everything that is supposed to be on is on. That one, like I said, I gotta wire it up real quick after this. Okay, and now that's what I was seeing earlier. See the flashing? That's what my other one, my other plug, it was letting that flash, which is a cool feature, because if you're turning, that allows somebody beside you to see it. And as you can see, well, let me take a step back. As you can see, both sets of tail lights are working correctly. So let's make sure that my left turn signal and right turn signal are correct. And they are. The reason I know is because, like I said on the side, we'll go to the back just to make sure, because it never hurts to double check. And as you can see, we're blinking. So, with that being said, guys, I'm gonna wrap this project up, shove it back inside, and we've got to load the tractor up because tomorrow we are heading over to do some bush hogging over at our deer hunting lease. It's not a very big job, but we just gotta go do it. Sorry, it's harvest time here this year, and the trucks are just up and down the road nonstop. So let's shove this back in here and get this finished. I really want this boot at least semi-correct. I don't want it to, because you need the boot to tighten up your grommet here in the back. So let's see if we can somehow make this do what we want. Make sure that, there we go. Boot's coming out the back, which is perfect. It's clipped. It's out the back. Hope you guys can see that. See? We got it where we wanted it. Put our boot in here. Use your round side. I'm sure you guys know that, but just in case, it'd be easy to turn it around backwards. Years ago, I'm sure I did on some of them. And voila. We're gonna take electrical tape. This black wire I should check to see if there's power to it, to see exactly why they had cut it off right there, and make sure that nothing funny was going on with it. But anyways, we're just going to wrap this up real good to make sure that vibration and stuff doesn't come back to bite us. I usually like to do excuse me, I usually like to do 4 or 5 rounds, maybe a little more. Just want to really be mindful of that. So here's our finished product. Let's plug it in. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'd also like to say that the reason I use the bed plug is because my cable does not hang out past my bumper, and I just like that. It's nice, and I don't have to worry if I go through some taller grass about a limb catching it and yanking on it or whatever. So that's the reason I was in the mindset of getting that actually finished and done. I hope you guys found this informative. Like I said, anytime that you deal with a car, you never know. Typically your brown wire is always your tail markers, but as you saw in this one, it was my right turn signal. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed and found it informative. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.